What up, everyone? I am the Comic Outlaw, coming to you live and loud with my own little slice of heaven, traveling from this multiverse and that multiverse. And yes, Spider-Man time. Well, yet one of his most notable villains. One that appeared in the third issue of Spider-Man, I believe, 1963. I'm talking about, of course, Otto Octavius, aka Dr. Octopus, or the Superior Spider-Man, or the Superior Octopus, or Superior Venom, or whatever you want to call him. We got the classic toy right here. I've been waiting for this for a long, long time. Check it out. Classic Otto. Pop belly and everything. But we're going to put this down for a minute, and we're going to talk a little bit about the man behind the arms. Otto has had a very, very interesting career in the world of Spider-Man. He's basically done it all. He was the first villain to hand Spider-Man his ass, for example, to give him that big loss. He was popular, of course, in Spider-Man 2. That was one of the big ones where it really got a lot of attention for him. Let's see. Also, Spider-Man the Animated Series. The original, of course, the one that came out in the 90s, really gave the classic Dr. Octopus. Very arrogant, very intelligent, very assured of his own brilliance. Not to mention, the arms had a lot of personality. That's what I loved about the early Spider-Man comic books with Dr. Octopus. One arm would be lighting a cigarette with a match, one would be holding the cigarette, and the other would be doing many different things, and the arms had personality to it. You know, they did all these really cool little things besides being destructive weapons, you know, of death. And Otto himself has survived. I mean, the man has died several times. I mean, even before he died and passed himself on to Spider-Man, he died before that. He came back. A woman became Lady Octopus for a while with his four arms. Went to her when he was dead, and he was resurrected. And then he's had a very twisted life. He's had an odd relationship with Peter's Aunt May. She seems to adore him, and he seems to have a soft spot for the old lady, even though he's a bastard and a half. Otto is just one of those very interesting characters. Like, for example, I love Superior Spider-Man. I thought that was one of the coolest things that's happened to Spider-Man in a while. When Dr. Octopus, I'll give you a little short of it. He's dying. He tricks Peter. Octopus transfers his essence, I guess you could say, his brain patterns into Peter Parker's body, and essentially takes over Peter's body and kind of pushes Peter to the back, tries to get rid of him. And some of Peter's goodness, I guess, kind of washes over Otto, the influence, and he becomes like a superhero, the Superior Spider-Man. And the interesting thing is that he actually makes Parker's life a lot better. He gets Parker's doctorate. He gets him a multi-million-dollar business. He builds these little spider probes out of his little Octobots to patrol town. I mean, like, he, in a lot of ways, was far superior. But he lacked in empathy. He lacked in a couple other ways. He also broke the no-kill rule that Spider-Man has, like they all have. He's returned as Superior Octopus for Hydra. They gave him a new clone body, which is okay. It's not the classic Otto Octavius we all know and love. Otto is just one of those characters that always seems to bounce back. And I did like the Superior Spider-Man run for that example. It kind of, for example, I just really keep going back to that because it really explored who he was. And I think it was a great fundamental change for him. And plus, Spiderverse was in it. And I love Spiderverse. I loved his role in Spiderverse. I found him absolutely necessary, especially when he was leading it for a while. All around, I think Otto's a good character when he has a good writer backing him up. But we're going to have to see what they do with him now. As always, it depends on what writer uses him. And the sad part is that superheroes get steady writers. They often get like steady You know, because you're writing a superhero story. Often enough with a villain, it often changes from one person to another, to another, to another. That's why the Superior Spider-Man run was so important. Because it gave you an idea of who and what this person was, and what they had to offer, and what they would do if they were given that second chance to play the hero. But anyways, that's enough of the history, I guess. I might do a video on it later, but we'll see. But for now, let's open the toy up. Ooh, I got goosebumps. Ooh, let's see. And of course, Otto is a founding member of Sinister Six, which is often enough some of the best Spider-Man villains. I've talked about them before. And he's also appeared in Ultimate Spider-Man. It's kind of like a paraplegic. I liked the darker tone of him, but I didn't like the fact that his legs and arms were dead. I don't know. It didn't really do it for me. You know, like not like the classic one, but it was an okay version, I guess you could say. Alright. Moment of truth. Let's check him out. There he is. Out of the plastic. Right there. Alright, let's pop him out. Alright, this is interesting. As you can tell from the back, you put the arms in, and sheesh, they're all tangled in here. Pull one out and see where it goes. And we'll put one right there. This is already starting to look cool. And I do like the way the arms look. I have to say, they have that long look to it. The evil little plastic. Alright, we're going to pull this one through. We got two more, ladies and gentlemen, so bear with me. You gotta admire their ingenuity for kind of keeping these wrapped. I mean, like, Marvel has come a long way since the Secret War toys. And if you do not know what the Secret War toys are, they were the reason for the Secret Wars. They wanted to make a brand of toys to go with the series, and the Secret Wars kind of popped up from that. Like the Black Spider-Man suit, for example, was a product of that. The Secret War toys were cool. I mean, for what they were plastic, basic. They came with shields that had little things from the movies, you know. But as far as back in the day, in the 80s, they were just fun to have because they had a wide variety of toys. And it was the first time that you actually had a lot of the Marvel characters since the Migos. And I know this is probably going over a few of my viewers' heads, since people don't really talk about Migos or the original toys anymore. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can always Google that shit. And it's worth Googling. I mean, over the years, there's been some really cool toys over time made. But it all comes down to personal taste, the retro look. Let's see what we got here. I'm just throwing them all together to kind of show you guys how it looks. Check it out. Boom. Like I said, it's classic Otto Octavius. I'm probably going to be rearranging it some other way. But for now, this is the way it looks. I do love the arms. They're a little stiff. Like I said, I'll probably be rearranging them. But as far as the toy, it's really cool. I mean, I have no problem with the way they look. He seems to be standing pretty good. All in all, a fair toy. Well worth the money. And overall, a great job by the Legends set. I look forward to the more work, and maybe they'll throw on a Hobgoblin. Who knows? He was played by Mark Hamill. And if you didn't know that, now you know. This is the Comic Outlaw. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Yeah.